Hi, my name is Evan. I'm a WyldLife leader, and I'd like you to meet my friends Liam and Ellie.
I'm also a WyldLife leader. My name is TJ, and I want you to meet Colton and Cooper. So, Cooper, tell me, what is one of your favorite memories of WyldLife?
Well, there's so many, there isn't like one specific memory. I think it's just really, you get to be crazy teenagers and goof off the whole time.
What's your favorite part about Fridays about goofing off?
Snacks. Free snacks.
Free snacks. Colton, what's your favorite memory about WyldLife?
Well, we used to do games. We always do games, and we played a game where we had 60 seconds to put as many paper clips on someone as possible, and Cooper was one of those victims.
So what is your favorite memory of WyldLife?
My favorite memories, I like doing like the Olympics, like the donut Olympics and the water balloon Olympics. Those are fun.
One of my favorite parts of WyldLife is us going to camp at Crooked Creek and me throwing out the first pitch. It means a lot because I'm a pitcher as well.
So what's hard about being in middle school for you guys?
Well, one thing is, in elementary school, you have some friends, and then sometimes when you get into middle school, your friends get cooler and feel like they don't need to hang out with you as much.
For me, it's definitely the people expect you to act a certain way, and then if you don't, it's like you kind of get shunned, disowned a little bit because you're not quite as cool as everyone else.
I feel like there's a lot of rules you have to follow, and like it's just kind of like the same thing every single day. Like it's not really changing it up.
Liam, what's been hard and challenging for you about middle school?
Probably not being able to act like your usual self, where you have to be like mature in the classroom and everything, and having to be the ones being mature, I guess.
That is very hard of like the matter of social unspoken rules, and then all these new rules that you have being in middle school compared to elementary school. Like you just feel like you're strained down and chained down to be fit in this order and follow this line.
So how did when you entered middle school as a sixth grader, how did you feel like eighth graders were looking at you?
Kind of felt like you would never be as cool as the eighth graders because you felt like they were so much higher than you were.
So now you guys are all eighth graders, right? And I remember us earlier this year talking about how can we treat sixth graders different? Do you remember that conversation? Mm-hmm. What do you remember that we talked about in terms of how important is it for you guys as eighth graders, for incoming sixth graders now who come to WyldLife? How is it that we're going to treat them?
Mostly like they're middle schoolers too. They're going through the same thing as us, and even though we've been through it 3 years in a row, they're gonna experience it, and it's important for us to treat them that way because that's the way they're gonna learn that, oh yes, you treat sixth graders this way, not this way.
You have to like treat them with respect because they're going through even maybe a little more than you because they're like still new at this, where you have like a couple years of experience.
Liam, how do you think like you've learned about Jesus and his character like through being out in WyldLife from sixth grade all the way to where you are now as an eighth grader?
Probably because I learned that he's always gonna stick with you and he won't turn your back on you. And that even though if you think you're alone, you're not alone.
I feel like you learn how to like have God with you by your side through middle school, and like I also learned that there's like many stories of like great things that God did, not just like a couple. There's like 100.
Jesus is that very like, I'm not gonna judge you for who you are, because I'm the kind of person who does kind of judge people for the way they are. So it's definitely been helpful for me in that area. I've definitely learned like, okay, I shouldn't judge them because of their actions at this moment, because they could be a completely different person on the inside.
For me, it's like someone's always out there for you. Like even when you feel alone, someone's always there watching you, and you feel like you always have someone there to encourage you through hard times.
So when you come to WyldLife on Fridays, how does it make you feel as you walk through that door?
I'm like excited for it, and like I know that there's like no rules, and like we're gonna do something like fun and different, and like it's just like a fun place to be at.
When I walk through those doors, I immediately know I could be myself in front of all my friends, and I don't care what they think, because I'm with the people who actually like me for who I am.
For me, when I walk in the doors, I know I'm gonna have a fun afternoon because it can get kind of crazy and I can hang out with my friends.
It definitely lifts my spirit on a Friday afternoon because I'm usually tired, and it's something to look forward to at the end of the day. It's also a place I know, like, I'm going to be able to go there and talk to my friends, be able to laugh with my friends, and then not have anyone, like, judge me because of the way that I, like, my humor or the things that I do.
So how would you guys like ask your friends who are thinking about coming to WyldLife? Like, what would you say to them if they wanted to go? Colton?
I would say I would completely encourage them to come, and then it can really help you find God and kind of where your place is, I feel like.
For me, it'd just be like, it's a cool time. You get to hang out with your friends, snacks, and then it's also a good way to like come closer to God and learn more about His ways and the ways that He works through us and others.
I feel like it's like really fun because you can like, it'll like lift your spirits, and like it's a fun Friday activity where you can like be yourself, and you can learn how to like live life with like God and Jesus by your side.
That it's not all just about like supporting and praying and everything else, but you're still close to Him, and He knows that, and you don't have to fully like embrace Him all the time. Like, we can still have fun with our friends, and at the end of WyldLife, like always, we always close it out and we always talk about it, and that's showing support and everything.
If you are interested at all of hanging out with kids like these, that we would love to have you. We have a lot of middle schools in our valley, and then many of them don't have WyldLife. So we need more leaders who have a heart for middle school kids who just want to come alongside them and hang out with them, walk with them in their life, and help point them to Jesus. So that's one way I would encourage you to be involved in what we're doing with middle school kids.
And thanks for hearing our stories. Definitely give to the online giving campaign. It definitely helps kids like us get closer to God and learn more about Him.
You provide so much opportunities for myself, Evan, and about 50 other leaders in our community, our staff who give leadership. So thank you for your investment, because that's what's happening. You're investing in the lives of these kids now and in their future.